and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100 marathons and ultras. I started using Zwift at the beginning of 2015 when indoor cycling and smart trainers really took off. In the early days, I held the long distance record for cycling of 500 kilometres on Zwift for about 48 hours. And when running started in 2016, I was the first person to run a marathon on Zwift. So if you have any questions about Zwift, if I don't know the answer, I probably know somebody who does. Okay, so now you can go and take the trash out and get that drink. And make sure you keep an eye on that countdown and be back in time for the start proper. Well, go on then, don't just sit there gawping at me. Basically, this message is going to go around in a loop again and again until the start of the run, so you may as well go and do something constructive in the meantime. Hello and welcome to this Zwift Run live stream. My name is Stephen. I'm a Zwift ambassador, a community run leader and your host today. There's a countdown clock up there showing how long to go before the start of the main event, so you've probably got time to tidy the kitchen, take the trash out and grab yourself a drink before we get going. If you've never seen Zwift before, it's an online game where athletes from all over the world train, compete against and socialise with each other live and in real time. All you need to take part is a foot pod, an internet connection, access to a treadmill and a device on which to run the Zwift app. You can use a computer, an iPad, an iPhone, a high-end Android device. Zwift even works on Apple TV. If you have a smart treadmill, you don't even need a foot pod, as your treadmill will send your speed direct to Zwift. Once you've logged in and made sure your equipment is connected, you can join others live for structured group workouts or social runs. You could do a solo workout or take part in one of the many in-game challenges. You could also pit yourself against people from all over the world in a race. There are various Zwift worlds. Some are based on existing places like London, New York, Innsbruck, Richmond, Virginia and Harrogate in the UK. But the biggest world is the fictional Watopia, where you can run in glass tunnels underwater, through the middle of a volcano, in a jungle, up to the top of a snow-capped mountain and on country trails. Watopia is where the Zwift developers let their imagination fly. Like any computer game, the more you run, the higher up the levels you climb and the more virtual goodies you require. If you're a regular treadmill runner, Zwift is going to transform your training. If you're a hater, Zwift is going to change the way you think about indoor running. Before we go any further, if you're watching on YouTube, please click that subscribe button and the bell icon so you're notified every time we go live on this channel. If you're watching on Facebook, please click the like button on the Film My Run page. Film My Run is also my other YouTube channel where I post real world runs, so if you're interested in marathons, ultra running, 10Ks or triathlons, you'll find product reviews, interviews and races over on that channel. I've been running all my life. I started running long distance races in 2011 when I ran my first half marathon, and that was followed a year later by my first marathon in Paris. I've run the Paris Marathon every year since and have now run well over 100. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live on Facebook and on YouTube. While we're getting everything ready, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Live YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun and also Twitter at filmmyrun, and the website is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax, don't forget to drop me a ride on and watch me do all the hard work. So, hello, welcome to Bag That Badge. We are here on the 5k loop. It's only a 5k run, nice and easy, nice and relaxed. Right, 9.5 then. We've got 9.5, everyone. So we've got Carol, we've got Amy, Overburst, Jean, Buenaventura, Julia Foster, Mikhail Albertini, Mutzi, hello Mutzi. Okay, and on the YouTube chat, Amy, Tina and Heather and Anthony. Right, what do we need to tell Anthony, Tina? So, hang on a minute. Let me remember the conversation that I had with Stefan. Now, what was it? So, I think Stefan, who's the boss of Noble Pro, he told me that you need the latest FTMS module. And you need to write to support and ask them to send you it. I think that's what it was. Yeah, so it's not the Bluetooth chip, it's the FTMS chip you need. Right, Clive was dancing this morning, was he? I'll have to have a word with him about that. It's not on. He can't upstage me. Was Clive doing dancing this morning on the Film My Run 500? you get the running vests when you climb up the levels. Clive has raised the bar. So he was doing dancing on the treadmill whilst running. When you get to level 22, you will get the orange vest. Right, Tina says it was a bit embarrassing. Well, I mean, I would never want to embarrass myself. And I'm happy to say that I never have embarrassed myself on this live stream. Always professional, always keeping it on a level which is not to be questioned in any way by anyone. Always above board. Nothing untoward goes on my live streams. I was going to say on this channel, but of course Clive does broadcast on this channel, so there may be a disciplinary hearing. Right, Heather says Clive did a TikTok video to intro the film My Run 500. I'm going to have to watch that. I am going to have to watch that. It sounds awful. Clive, if you're watching, I am going to watch that. Thank you very much to Clive, by the way, for taking over the Film My Run 500 this morning whilst I was jollying it up on the Seven Sisters Hills at Beachy Head in Eastbourne. I went for a little jog over there and enjoyed myself very much. And then I went and had lunch with my eldest son who lives over there. Sarah Jacobson says, I'd hoped to join this one, but got sucked into work. Right, Sarah, you really need a standing desk over your treadmill, because this is getting too much now. Every time I would have joined this run, but I had to work. Well, now, in this modern age, you can get all sorts of gadgets to fit on your treadmill. And I don't care if you're on a Teams call or a Zoom call, headset, you know how it works. There's no excuses anymore, Sarah. And Anthony says, I ran outside today and it was lovely. Sun, blue sky, birds singing. The only downside was the freezing wind, yes. So I had pretty much exactly the same, Anthony. It was beautiful blue skies and sunshine, but a little bit of a biting cold wind. But I did completely wrap myself up, so I didn't feel the wind so much. And it was absolutely gorgeous. The only problem was I didn't quite get to where I wanted to go, because I was on a time constraint. And I had to get back for lunch with my son. I had to turn round just a tiny bit earlier than I would have liked to, because I wanted to go and see an old World War II airfield that was decommissioned in 1946, but the airfield land and some of the buildings, or at least one of the buildings, is still there, and a commemorative stone is there, and it's right up on the hills overlooking the Cuckmere Valley. in a beautiful location. And I never knew it existed until a couple of days ago when I was scouting out the route. And I thought, oh, I'd really like to go there. Anyway, I arrived very near and turned off to get to it, but it was just a bit too far and I had to turn back before I got there. Amy says she enjoyed her run outside with Sophie yesterday. Sarah Jacobson did do one of the Zwift Academy speed workouts all by herself yesterday. Wow, well done. So she's got one done anyway. Was it Ellis or was it Elsa? It might have been Elsa actually. When she was little, she couldn't say all by myself, and she used to say all my by self. All my by self, we used to say. Amy says Sophie makes her run outside. Quite right too. Yeah, you've got to have a mix of treadmill running and outdoor running, I think. You can't spend well, unless you're Marcus Holmes, you can't spend your entire life on the treadmill. Julia Foster started a bit late, but she has caught us up. Thank you, Julia. Nice little group we've got running together. This is a very nice group we have running together. Although I assume everyone in this group does have the 5K loop badge. Amy Green did workout number 7 of the Zwift Academy this morning. She says she found it difficult. We'll be doing that on Friday. So I think myself and Clive, Clive and I still have workout 1 and 2 to do. So we need to do them and catch up sometime. Yeah, and we'll do workout 7 on Friday. So tomorrow, in fact. Is it tomorrow? Hang on, what day is it today? Yeah, tomorrow. Yes, it is amazing how long we have had running for free. It actually started in 2016. Friday, also known as tomorrow. Yes, it is tomorrow. This is just the 5K loop, so it's a nice short live stream today. We are already a mile in, so just a couple of miles to go. Round on the beach on the 5K run loop. If you're new to Zwift, bikes are not allowed on this section. So what's cool about running on Zwift is that we can run on any road, anywhere. Whereas the bikes are restricted to bike routes. So there are certain routes that are run only, and this is one of them. You will not see any bikes at all, ever, on this path here. This is the run-only path. John Farrell has a day off tomorrow. Do you mean a day off of running? Amy Green has done all of the Zwift Academy runs now. She's only got the 5K finish line run to do. Sarah Jacobson, shall shall I just do the Saturday one with Victoria on the Paris Marathon run, and we'll set you up to do another one with Marcus either next week or like a different run that isn't so long for you. I kind of feel bad for like such a long live stream, because I think we're an hour and 40 minutes this week, and I would just feel bad you having to do a live stream for that long. I'm quite happy for you to do it if you want to. Buenaventura says it's a nice pack, but we do miss Victoria. Well, Victoria is currently cooking dinner for Elsa and Ellis. Elsa has been to the dentist. Not the dentist, the orthodontist yesterday. And she has had her braces tightened for the final time, and in 6 weeks' time, she will get her braces out. So, Elsa's mouth is quite sore and she can't eat solid food today. So she's having to get cooked something soft and easy to eat. So that's what Victoria is doing right now, rather than running with us. Okay, so yeah, Sarah Jacobson, that is absolutely fine. She says, I've got a lot going on with work. Or a lot going on, don't know if I can add streaming to my plate this week. But she will be joining, that's good. Okay, so we'll see you on Saturday, Sarah, and we'll set up another live with you and Marcus whenever you guys are ready to do that. No problem at all. And Cooper got his braces off last week. Sarah Jacobson's son, Cooper, got his braces off last week. So, yeah, well, Elsa's had hers on for a year and a half or so now. So not actually too long, really. Some people have them on for 2 years, don't they? Or longer. So Elsa's had her braces for about a year and a half. And the orthodontist told her another 6 weeks, and that's it, they'll come off. Heather says, poor Elsa, always awful having your braces tightened. Yes. Well, she's been quite lucky, because I think the last 6 months or so, when she's had them tightened, it's only been a little bit, and it hasn't bothered her at all. But this one was quite a big tightening, so it is hurting quite a lot. But it's the last one, so in a way she can cope with it because she knows. And also you kind of, I know tooth pain is always horrible, but she's kind of got used to it, or dealing with the pain. She's kind of got used to it now, so, but it doesn't make eating any easier. Right, we're almost halfway. Look at that, we are almost halfway. Right, Carol, I have no idea what that word is. Have you misspelled something? Carol is making no sense again! Exclamation mark. I don't know what that word means, Carol. I'm just hoping that you've spelled something incorrectly. Amy says, that sounds nice, Tina, but I don't know what Tina's said. Oh, here we go. You'll be pleased to know I've been gardening today and taking my dog for a long walk in the sunshine. That is what we like to see. Right, it's a plastic retainer for my teeth. Okay, so Carol says I have Invisalign? Never heard. Is it? I assume it's a brand. Is that a brand of retainer? Question mark. Yeah, Elsa does have to wear a retainer at night. So once she has her braces removed, she will be wearing a retainer at night. Especially seeing as the orthodontist said her teeth have realigned quite quickly with the braces on. So they could quite easily misalign again if she doesn't wear the retainer. So she needs to make sure she wears the retainer at night to keep her teeth nicely in place. Tina Beard has heard of the brand name of retainer. I have not heard of it. We're nearly 3k in to our 5k loop. Just a little bit over 5k to get around the loop. In our Bag That Badge series, we are running 3 events during the day. So you have 3 chances to get 3 different achievement badges, route achievement badges on a Thursday. So there is another one at 1 AM UK time. Much better for the US crowd or the American, South American, North American crowd to join that early evening in the US if they want to get a route achievement badge. And we also have one, is it around 1 PM? So we've already had one today. So this is the second one of the day. Obviously I don't live stream all of them, I only live stream this one. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Right, Heather says, I didn't wear my retainer and I had to go through braces twice. So Heather's teeth were aligned, she didn't wear her retainer and then she had to have braces again to get them realigned. So yeah, we must make sure that Elsa does wear her retainer. Amy says, I hated braces, my teeth still aren't straight. Believe it or not, Elsa has grown quite fond of her braces. She actually said the other day, I quite like how I look with braces. Right, and Sarah Jacobson, the same as Heather. She wears her retainer still every night. Because, well, I assume when she was younger she didn't, and the teeth misaligned again, so, yeah. So I shall reiterate that to Elsa. 2 examples of people who didn't wear their retainer and the teeth went back out of line again. Thank you for that, guys. Appreciate your openness and honesty in this discussion this evening. Sharing and learning from each other is always important. And that's what we do on our runs. We chat about life, the universe and everything. And we put the world to rights. So we've all learned something today. Heather says, yeah, it looks a real shock when they take the braces off. It looks very strange. And Amy Green as well. So we've got Sarah Jacobson, Heather and Amy, who all say they didn't wear their retainer and their teeth didn't go straight or stopped being straight. Oh, Invisalign. Okay, now I can see. Julia Foster says, my sister had Invisalign recently, Carol. She's very pleased with the results. Invisalign, I-N-V-I-S align. Okay, I'll mention that to Victoria. And Carol says, I wish I'd had the procedure when I was in my 20s. So, Carol, can you explain a bit about that then? What is the procedure exactly? Just realigning your teeth with this retainer? We are having a very interesting discussion about teeth realignment on the live stream. It is riveting. Full stop. You should definitely join the live stream chat if you haven't already. Sarah Jacobson says, I had Invisalign for my second round of braces and still have my Invisalign retainer. Okay, so Carol says it's similar to braces, but it's a plastic retainer that changes every 3 weeks. Amazing. I am learning so much. A friend of mine, I don't know if any of you, if you watch the Film My Run channel, and if you have done for years, you will know my friend Richard, who I actually haven't run with for ages because he's been injured, but he is getting back to it now. Anyway, his wife, who also actually runs on Zwift, Tanya, runs on Zwift quite regularly, but she doesn't often join group runs. She kind of runs on her own. But anyway, Tanya, she's now in her 40s, and she has recently had braces because she had a gap at the front of her teeth. And she had that gap for years, and she's only just in her 40s had braces fitted, which have now come off, but she had them for the last year, 2 years. Wow, okay Carol, I couldn't read all that out, but I can see it there. You have them for 9 months, and the last retainer you have 3 copies, and it lasts you 10 years, but the material is a harder polymer. Well, there you go. Okay, we are coming up to 4 kilometres now in our Bag That Badge episode at the 5k loop in Watopia. So just over 1 kilometre to go. So if you have any more interesting stories about, or not interesting stories about teeth or dentists or realignment, retainers, orthodontist treatment, by all means put it in the chat. Let's discuss it. Amy says, during my uni years I chipped one of my front teeth, which adds to my bad teeth. Well, Amy, I have never noticed. I hope Victoria doesn't mind me telling you about her front. She's got a front tooth which is false, and wasn't long ago it came loose and fell out, and she had to have it put back in. So one of Victoria's front teeth, what are they called at the front there? They've got a name, haven't they? What are they called? Anyway, one of Victoria's front teeth came out. One kilometre to go. And we've been running for 27 minutes now. And we've still got Mikhail, Albertini, Pike, Overbust, Ola, Jean van der Vold, Buenaventura, Carol Rushworth, Melman, Amy Green and Julia Foster, all in this big group. Heather says, last weekend I attended an outdoor first aid course, and one of the scenarios was a group of lost ultra runners with various complaints. So what was the upshot? I guess one of the complaints was hypothermia. Incisors, that's what they're called, yes. Thank you, Julia. Very pleasant running with you all. John Farrell says, when I was 10, I dived into the shallow end of the swimming pool, hit the bottom and lost a front tooth. It is false now. There you go. Heather's casualty had hypothermia and a head injury. Don't most ultra runners have a permanent head injury? That's why we do ultras, isn't it? Yeah, I knew when I was a child, younger than 10, I must have been about 7 or 8. I knew a boy who was on a roundabout in a playground and flew off the roundabout and landed on his face and had to have all his front teeth replaced with false ones. Horrible. You know, do you remember when children's playgrounds used to be concrete? Before all that soft stuff that we have now, children's playgrounds used to be basically just concrete floors. And, yeah. Sarah says, so this was back in the early 1900s, was it, Stephen? Yes, it was, Sarah. Yes, in fact, maybe even the 1800s. It was kind of Queen Victorian era, Queen Victoria, basically, just while she was on the throne. Niels Overburst says, thanks mate, join you tomorrow. Thank you, Niels. Yeah, we'll be doing Zwift Academy Workout 7 tomorrow. And we have 500 metres left of this run. Sarah, I have to have a thick skin with everything you guys throw at me, don't I, really? I can't work out often who I have to bat back most flack from, whether it's you or Tina. And to be honest, Heather does get in on the act occasionally these days. Carol says, when I was 10, I ran in a 4-legged race. My buddy wore race spikes. Oh my God, I can just imagine. Did he step on your foot? And Amy says, when I was about 2 and I just got my full set of teeth, I knocked out my 2 front teeth and as I was climbing on the kitchen table. My adult ones didn't grow until I was about 7. Wow. So Amy Green knocked out her 2 front teeth, her 2 front baby teeth, when she was 2 years old. Carol says her 4-legged race partner fell over and her spiked trainer stuck in her leg. Ow. Tina says, I thought you were supporting Stephen nowadays, Sarah. Sarah comes back with, only with tech issues, Tina. I support him in no other way. And Heather claims to be she says, I'm a very nice person. No, you are. Yes, Heather, you absolutely are. Carol still has a triangle-shaped scar to this day where the spikes of the trainer went into her leg. Wow. Marcus has joined us. Hello, Marcus. With 200 metres to go, Marcus makes an appearance. He says, hello, everyone. Just got out of a Zoom meeting. Hope you're all doing well. We are. We're just coming to the end of our 5k loop. Beautiful run with a nice group all together. So that's been lovely. And now Sarah is now claiming that she too skipped this run because of work. Basically, Marcus and Sarah have skipped this run because they can't be bothered to purchase a standing desk to put over the treadmill. Wow, Marcus has hit level 30 today. No more double XP for him. Amazing, Marcus. I am not far off level 26. But that just shows how much Marcus runs on Zwift. He is already at level 30, and I imagine he's the first person to hit level 30 on Zwift. Well done, Marcus. Amazing. And there we are. 5.2 kilometers done. 33 minutes. And we are done. Well done, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. And that is it. We are done. Amy says I'm still... not Amy. Sarah says I'm still wasting away on level 24. Tina Beard is still languishing on level 22. Well, yeah, I mean, that is pretty amazing. Anthony says, I did join the Discord and left a comment regarding my problem. But thank you for your information, Steve. No problem, Anthony. Yeah, hopefully you can get that sorted. So we think the problem with your treadmill, Anthony, is that you need the FTMS update chip. So it's a bit of hardware, a little chip that you would manually fit into the treadmill yourself. Marcus thinks he should start a new Zwift account so he can do the climb up to level 30 all over again. Sarah says, what time are we running tomorrow? So UK time, let me just have a double check. I think it'll be UK time 6 o'clock. But let's have a look at the events and see. So tomorrow, let's see, 6 p.m. Yeah, workout number 7, 6 p.m. UK time. Oh, hang on, you haven't got it, sorry. There we go. Buenaventura says, thanks guys, see you tomorrow. Thank you, Ace. Take care, buddy. Yeah, so we'll do that one. So where's the plus button? There's the plus. We'll do, it's 55 minutes tomorrow. 55 minutes for the long workout tomorrow, starting at 6 p.m. UK time, whatever that is in US time. Marcus says, tomorrow I have to do it in the morning, maybe 9:30 Eastern for him. So 9:30 Eastern would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, that's 2:30 UK time. Yeah, so we won't be running until 6 p.m. UK, which would be... So 2:30 is 9, 3:30 is 10, 4:30 is 11, 5:30 is 12:30, 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. Eastern will be running tomorrow. Does that make sense? Does that sound right? 1 p.m. Eastern, and that is 10 a.m. California time, Pacific time. If you want to join us for tomorrow's Zwift Academy workout number 7. That's it from me. A bit of a short one today. Amy will be watching tomorrow. Anthony says good evening to you all. Thank you very much. Yes, Marcus has a problem with the corral that he's in for the Paris Marathon. We need to sort that out, because if Marcus and I are going to help each other along to this fast time at Paris, we need to be in the same corral. So Marcus needs to get bumped up to the red corral. Currently, I think he's in the blue corral, so we have that problem to deal with. But Marcus has emailed the Paris Marathon support team, so hopefully they'll get that sorted. Right, I am off. I'm going to go and have a shower and then some food. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks very much for joining, everybody. Oh, now Sarah wants to know, how do you find out what corral you're in? Shall I leave you and Marcus to discuss that? I think you have to just go to the Paris Marathon, your login account on the Paris Marathon site. You need to log in and get your and have a look there. It'll tell you what colour you are. Right, take care everyone. See you soon. Bye bye.